everybody. Eric Songer here with you with what's happening in the Chaska Middle School West Band Department weekly podcast for November 2nd, 2018. I'm coming to you from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where I'm guest conducting for the UW Eau Claire High School Honor Band program tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the 9th and 10th grade band. A lot of great students from this Eau Claire area here, and that's why I'm wearing my blue golds represented here today. So this is where I went to college, by the way, for those of you who don't know. So very excited to get a chance to guest conduct and also get to be meeting all these great students and working with them, and also getting to work with a lot of great clinicians. A couple former teachers of mine are going to be here, and some other teachers and musicians that I have a very high respect for. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow. So looking forward to doing that. So, and usually in these podcasts, I go through the list of things that are coming up, talk about the program, what happened this past week, some reminders, and I'm going to do that. But for those of you who have been watching this for a while now, you may remember that this summer I went off the path, and usually I just don't do a podcast in the summer months, but I did a podcast called Second Floor Therapy, and I did that because as I teach longer and longer, I realized that my job, my number one priority is the well-being of my students and making sure that they're getting what they need, and that goes beyond the music curriculum that I teach, although that's very important. There's a lot of other things going on in their lives. And so I did a podcast over the summer months talking about some different things about music education, middle school education, and just life in general, and called it Second Floor Therapy because our band room's on the second floor, and a lot of times kids just come up and they want to talk. And now that we're basically at the 2-month mark, 2 months into this school year, it's hard to believe that that's literally like almost a quarter of the way through. Just some thoughts that, first of all, it's been a typical year in the sense that it's been really cool having the 7th and 8th graders back this year, and this 8th grade class, like all 8th grade classes, takes on a really cool personality, and they are achieving a level of maturity both in their overall behavior and intelligence, but also in their musicianship. That's just really, really exciting to work with. And the 7th graders are also just a blast because, now I've had them for over a year, and so again, you start to really get to know some of these kids really well, and I really am enjoying the character and personality of the 7th grade too. But I think one of the cool things for me at this point of the year, and one thing I really, quite honestly, don't like about September and really October for that matter too, is that I'm finally feeling like a connection with these 6th graders, and first of all, it's just getting to know all their names, and then getting to know what they like, what they don't like, what their hobbies are, where they are musically, who their friends are, who they have issues with, what their family is like, all that good stuff. And I'm really starting to connect with some of these 6th graders, and what great groups. This is the first year we've had 3 6th grade bands, and that's been a challenge because it's more kids. And even though we have another incredible band director, Ms. Zidell, to help teach lessons and direct bands, it's not like I only have to get to know 250 of you. I have to get to know all 360 of you, as does Ms. Zidell. And we want to let you know that we really love working with all of you, every single one of you. And even though we haven't had many conversations with the 6th graders yet, and in some cases very, very few, we really, really are enjoying getting to know you in our classroom. And I am really enjoying the fact that I'm getting to know some of you a lot better, especially well, I shouldn't say especially, but the kids who are involved in our after-school activities this year, like marching band, School of Rock, and now hip-hop and guitar. It's been really neat making those connections with all of you, and that's just going to continue more and more. And I think we'll probably be seeing a lot more of you up in the band room, a lot like the 7th and 8th graders who come up all the time. So anyway, it's been a tricky year too, and I think this week, thinking about Jenna Paschke a lot. Again, Jenna passed away a few weeks ago, and just tragic, unexpected, and just a super sweet kid and hardworking kid and kind to everybody. And we've all kind of gone through this, and it's part of the grieving process that you feel better, and then it just hits again, and it hit me like a ton of bricks again, and there was really no reason that happened other than just she was such a special kid, and so really missing Jenna today. And one thing that the eighth graders are planning on doing is honoring her at our winter concert, which is on December 11th. And that's the concert for all three grades. All 360 of our band students will be performing that night. And I'll get to some of those details later in the podcast. But the eighth grade band is going to do something special, a couple special things for Jenna at that concert. So we're looking forward to that, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on that in future podcasts too, especially so our eighth graders know what to do for that concert. So, but anyway, just if you're somebody who prays, just keep the Paschke family in your prayers. Keep their friends, and some of you are close friends to Jenna and the family. So keep praying for all the friends and family involved, and even if you're not somebody who is a praying person, maybe you can just send some thoughtful, happy vibes, and be there for each other, because that's the important thing, regardless of what you believe, is to love each other and be there for everybody. So anyway, I just wanted to share that here on this podcast today. So let's get into some of the details here as far as things that are going on. The after-school schedule is packed right now. I got to do a presentation at the University of Minnesota this past Tuesday to some music education students, and it was wonderful watching them hear about some of the cool things that we do in our program. And right now we have 4 incredible after-school classes that are very different, and one that's before school that are very different than what most schools do. We have our hip-hop group meeting on Mondays called Hip Hop Academy, and this past week we did some work with a voice transformer. We learned a little bit more about Ableton Push. We had kids DJing, we had kids creating hip-hop music on GarageBand. Very, very fun day in Hip Hop Academy. Tuesday, 16 students in our beginning guitar class learning how to play guitar. Very fun kids to work with, so that was really cool. Thursday, our second rehearsal of 7th and 8th grade jazz bands, and the bands are looking great. We still have room for you, especially if you play saxophone, tenor sax, if you play low brass, we could use a couple more in each band. Trumpets in the 8th grade band, we could use a couple more. Rhythm section's pretty good as far as numbers, but if you're still interested, you can still become part of the jazz band program. And then our garage band program on Fridays, which unfortunately didn't meet today because we didn't have school today, but we'll be back at it on November 9th, and very excited about our garage band program and how it looked at our first rehearsal a week ago today. So anyway, some other things that were this week. We had Small Ensemble Day last week over at St. Anthony High School, last weekend that was, on Saturday. And congratulations to 3 of our 7th graders for participating in that event. Erin Seminis on bass clarinet, Amanda Seminis on French horn, and Sabrina Olson on French horn. So they all participated in that really cool event run by ASBDA. And then also a huge shout out to Gordy Moline, a 7th grader who auditioned for the state honored jazz band this week. And we will find out in about a month if he made it into that all-state honor jazz band. Very hard band to get into, but Gordy is a wonderful player. So congrats, Gordy, for your audition. Some reminders, band lesson schedule and schedule overall for this next week. We have a regular 5-day week with Friday being a B-day. And band lessons will be run as usual. We have one little change here moving into November. We are moving our improvisation and songwriting bonus lessons to Fridays instead of Thursdays. So those 2 lessons will be moving to Fridays, and it's going to be 7th hour this week. The other bonus lessons will remain on the days we've been doing them. Guitar and jazz piano will continue to be on Monday, and those will be 6th hour this week. And the bass and drum set lessons will continue to be on Thursdays, 4th hour this week. The first year brass, first year woodwind lessons will continue to be on Fridays. They'll be 6th hour this week. And what am I forgetting? Oh, state honor band. Time to work on your state honor band stuff. We'll be able to do that on Thursday this week at noon. And you might have a little time on Monday at noon. We might have a little time on Thursday as well. So you can check out the November lesson calendar on our website. It's also on Google Classroom, and I have hard copies in the band room so you can get a full list. Once again, 80% of our lessons are taking place during band, so kids aren't missing class. It's just really those bonus lessons. And then once every 6 weeks, students are asked to miss a class to come down for their regular sectional band lesson where they're meeting with the other kids in their band who play their instrument. So I mentioned State Honor Band. So the State Honor Band auditions are due in just a little over a month. So it's getting down to crunch time for those kids doing that. We've been seeing some kids come up on a regular basis to get help from us. If you're one of those kids who hasn't been doing that and you're still planning on auditioning, that's fine. But we need to really get on that. I know some of you have been working with your private lesson teachers, but Ms. Idell and I would really like to work with you too and see where you're at, and also just make sure you have the details of how that's all going to work when we get down to the audition, getting the money in, the forms in, and all that kind of stuff. So come and see us and play for us. Let's see where you're at. Coming up, we have two really cool events in November. The first one is the Veterans Day Assembly at our school, which will be on Monday, November 12th. That's the Veterans Day observed date this year. And how that works is the whole school meets outside by the flagpole at 8:40 a.m., right at the beginning of the school day. And we have two of our 8th grade trumpet players that I'm very proud of, Hannah Cleve and John Blunt, are going to perform taps out by the flagpole. And then we will come in, the whole school, and we'll go into the gym, and the 7th grade band will be all set up, and they will perform like 3 or 4 prelude songs as the rest of the student body walks into the gym. And then that will be followed by the assembly, which is the actual program in the gym, that the 7th grade band will kick off by playing our national anthem. And then there'll be some student speakers. There'll be some dignitaries from the area, from the community, and from the state there. Many, many veterans, and all veterans are invited who want to come. You can come and be part of it and be recognized for your incredible service to our country. And then many more music groups will play. Our choir, one of our choirs will be singing. Our 7th and 8th grade orchestra will be performing. And our 7th grade band will also be performing one more piece during the program, Marches of the Armed Forces, acknowledging each branch of the military. So, and it'll go till about 9:40. All family members anybody, but especially our band members, are invited to come and see the band perform. And kids in the 7th grade band should wear red, white, and blue that day. They don't have to get all dressed up, but try to wear one or more of those colors so that we're looking very patriotic. And another thing for the 7th grade band is we ask for those kids, as soon as they get to school that day, they can stop at their lockers and drop off their stuff, but then come right up to the band room. Don't go to first hour. Right up to the band room, get instruments out, come on down to the gym. And we would love if there are some students who are able to come before school as early as 7:30, but 8 o'clock is fine, 8:15, and come help us set up the gym, because we're going to need help getting all the chairs, stands, percussion instruments all set up and ready to go for that performance. So that's the details on that. By the way, one other thing for family members who are going to come, make sure that when you come, you get there a little bit before 8:40, and you're going to want to check in at the main office and have an ID so you can get a name badge, and then you can either head right into the gym, or you can go out to the flagpole and watch that portion, and then come into the gym with the rest of the student body a little bit after 8:40. But I would plan on being there by at least 8:30 to make sure that you can get a name badge and get situated. So, all right, cool. So that's coming up. And then a little more quickly, I'll just go through the details of the all 6th grade trip to see the Minnesota Orchestra perform at Orchestra Hall on Friday, November 30th. Your child, and if you're one of the students, you should have received a permission slip this week from your advisor. If you did not, you should bug your advisor about that next week. Now, I realize 6th grade is going to deep portage this coming week, so next time you're back at school, make sure you get a permission slip. Those permission slips are due on November 20th, so we still have some time to get those in. And there's a $10 payment that goes with that to cover the bus and your ticket to see the orchestra. And then on the date of Friday, November 30th, we will report to first hour. And then just a few minutes in, we'll head on out to the bus loop and get on the buses and go over to Orchestra Hall. And then we will watch a concert called Rhythm Moves Me, and it should be a really cool concert. It's about an hour long. And after the concert, we'll get back on the buses and come right back to West, and we'll get back near about 10, 15 minutes before lunch. So you'll be like into fourth hour a little bit, but you'll be back in time to eat lunch. So you don't have to worry about doing lunch any differently. And then you'll just go on with the rest of the day. So you'll miss first, second, third, and a little bit of fourth hour on the day of our trip. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. All sixth graders are going, regardless of if you have money to pay for that. If money is an issue, just let us know and we'll take care of that for you. But there is no alternative plan, so it's not like I'm not going. No, we're all going to go down to Orchestra Hall and get that experience. So I already talked about the after-school stuff going on. I did forget to mention our incredible rhythm section group that meets on Thursday mornings. They'll meet again this week. They are gearing up for being the house band at the talent show on January 11th, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. We have our DJs DJing this week at lunch and at breakfast. Again, it's DJ Gordy on Tuesday, and then DJ Jack on Thursday, and DJ Casey on Friday. We'll all be down there. And we have our regular win sessions this week. So MZPKE, Double Trouble, Destiny's 5, Aaron and the Girls will all meet on Wednesday during Win 1. Varoon 5, the Troublemakers, just a bunch of 7th graders, and Rose and Quartz will all meet during Win 2. And then Bring in the Beat and Socio Fiflets and Once and Rare But Serious Side Effects will all meet during Win 3 on Thursday. Let's take a second to look ahead here before we get to the wrap-up. December. It's hard to believe December is just next month, but December, lots of crazy fun things going on. I'll just kind of list them for right now. The Country Bluegrass Band will start on Monday, December 3rd after school. Some of our 8th grade garage band members are going to Jingle Ball, and that will be also that same day, December 3rd, down at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. Our 7th and 8th grade trip to Eden Prairie Center will be on Tuesday, December 4th. And 7th and 8th graders, you will get those permission slips during band this week to take home. There is no cost to go. You just need to get a parent's signature and bring some money for lunch that day. So make sure you're getting those permission slips signed and returned. And we will miss a portion of the school day on Tuesday, December 4th, to go to the mall. And parents, we will need some chaperones. So if you want to come along, listen to your child play, do a little Christmas shopping, that's totally cool. So just let me know. Our 6th grade jazz band will start on Tuesday, December 4th, and we will have sign-up forms for that. Probably not this week, but next week, and so kids can start signing up for that. And Ms. Idell will be conducting that on Tuesdays after school starting December 4th. Our winter band concert for all 3 grades is on Tuesday, December 11th, and that will be at Chaska Middle School West in the large gym. Our 6th grade 2A and 4B bands will play at 5:30. Our 6th grade 2B band will play at 6:15, and then both 7th grade bands are at 7, and both 8th grade bands are at 8. Kids should be at the band room at West about 30 minutes before that concert time so we can get set up and ready to perform. And attire for that concert for the 6th graders will be your music shirts and pants, and those music shirts might be here this week. So if not this week, next week for sure. So we'll get those shirts too. 7th graders will do the patriotic thing again, red, white, and blue. And then 8th grade, this is one of the things in honor of Jenna, we're all going to wear purple, or the closest thing you have to purple. And if you can look dressy in addition to your purple, that would be great. So if you have a purple top and a nice pair of pants, or a skirt, or something that's somewhat dressy would be really cool with that purple feel. So even if it's just maybe you wear white and black and have a purple highlight of some sort, like a tie, or something cool like that would be cool. All right, and what else? We have the talent show auditions coming up on Wednesday, December 12th. Anybody in the school can audition with a talent. Some of the most popular ones we see are singing, playing an instrument, dancing, martial arts, comedy, gymnastics, magic. So if you have a talent, you can start working on that. You got a little over a month to put that together. There is no sign up. There's no cost. You just come and audition after school in the band room on December 12th. And if you make it, you make it. It's not everyone gets in. Sometimes we have a lot of people audition. So make sure you're ready to do your talent at the top of your level, your skill level, that is. And a couple more things in December. Man, it's going to be a busy month. The garage bands will be performing at Rock in the Suburbs on Sunday, December 16th. We're thinking 2 p.m. will be the start time for that concert over at the PIM Arts High School in Eden Prairie. And then the 6th grade band members will go caroling on Monday, December 17th through the hallways of Chaska Middle School West, and that's always a fun day. So, all right, I'm reaching the 20-minute mark, so I better wrap this baby up. So if you want to reach me on Twitter, I'm at Eric Songer or at CMSW Band and at Songer Studio. Also, Google Classroom has the lesson schedule and other information. We just started talking about the plane tests, which are due middle of January, so you can get information on that very soon on Google Classroom. Remind, you can get texts of what's going on if you send the message at symbol 18 band 6 or at 18 band 7 or at 18 band 8 to the number 81010. We have the school website. This is the YouTube channel you're watching right now, Mr. Songer's channel. And, you know, it just struck me, one other thing, Garage Band members, if you are making it through to the podcast to this point, I really, really need to know if you need a jacket for this year, if you want a jacket. You don't have to get one, but if you want one, I need to know by this Friday's rehearsal, November 9th. So get back to me on that. And also, I was asking about Chicago, if you're interested in going to Chicago, so you should let me know about that too. All right, I'm going to wrap this baby up. I got a lot of conducting to do tomorrow. I should probably get to bed. I'd love to be just hanging out on the town in Eau Claire here and seeing some old friends, but I got to be ready to go. So we'll save that for tomorrow. So looking forward to getting back then on Monday and making more great music with all of you. So thanks for watching this whole big video, and I'll be back next week with another What's Happening in the Chaska Middle School West Band Department. Have a great day, everyone, and go Blue Golds! Woo!